Hello and welcome to the Your Only Doc podcast. I'm Dr. Prasamsa. Today, we're taking a timely detour from the usual path to something that's once again knocking on clinic doors and emergency rooms. The recent surge of COVID-19, a new variant, a familiar threat. Let's dive in. Too busy? Here's your high-yield summary. Yes, COVID-19 is surging again. The new variant at the center of this rise is called NB1.8.1, a descendant of the Omicron family. It's spreading fast across India, the US, parts of Europe, and Southeast Asia. What makes this variant concerning is not just its speed, but its immune escape. It carries spike protein mutations that help it dodge prior immunity from vaccines or past infections. Thankfully, so far, the disease severity appears low in most healthy individuals. But for the elderly, immunocompromised, or those with comorbidities, it's still a real risk. The symptoms are mostly upper respiratory: fever, cough, sore throat, fatigue, and body aches. Some cases report GI symptoms and dizziness. Fewer are needing hospitalization, but reinfections are common, and long COVID is still possible. Testing, especially with RT-PCR, remains reliable. Rapid antigen tests may miss early cases. Masking indoors, hand hygiene, and avoiding crowded places are again recommended in high transmission zones. Vaccines continue to protect against severe disease, even if they don't fully prevent infection. Boosters, especially with updated formulations, still matter. Bottom line, this isn't March 2020, but it's not over either. Stay informed, stay cautious. Now let's zoom in into the clinical and public health landscape. The NB1.8.1 variant is part of a larger branch of Omicron's sublineages. Its structure contains several mutations in the receptor binding domain, including L455S and F456L, which increase its binding to ACE2 receptors while helping it partially evade neutralizing antibodies. This is why people who had COVID even a few months ago or completed their vaccines long back are still getting reinfected. In India, several states have reported rising positivity rates, with urban centers seeing a jump in flu-like illnesses. Clinicians should maintain a low threshold for testing, especially in elderly patients, diabetics, transplant recipients, or those on chemotherapy. COVID pneumonia, while rare with this strain, still occurs and needs prompt detection. From a clinical standpoint, it is crucial to distinguish COVID from influenza, RSV, dengue, or even new strains of adenovirus that are circulating. Co-infections are being reported more frequently, especially in children. RT-PCR with gene sequencing is the best way to confirm the variant, but this is mostly done in referral labs. In practice, a positive test plus typical symptoms are enough to begin management. Treatment remains symptom-based for most. But don't forget, Paxlovid is still effective. If started early in high-risk patients, it reduces hospitalizations and progression to severe illness. Remdesivir and monoclonal antibodies are now largely ineffective against newer variants, and many of the earlier antibody cocktails are no longer recommended. Oxygen monitoring, steroids in hypoxic patients, and anticoagulation when needed are still part of standard inpatient care. The bigger concern, however, is pandemic fatigue. People have stopped masking. Booster uptake is low. Even healthcare workers are letting their guard down. We must remember mild does not mean harmless. Long COVID, especially brain fog and fatigue, is still being studied, and it's real. What about vaccines? Currently available mRNA boosters, including the XBB 1.5 updated versions, offer partial cross-protection. Though they don't prevent infection completely, they dramatically reduce hospitalization and ICU rates. If you're eligible, especially if you're above 60 or immunocompromised, get boosted. And for those asking yes, you can get a flu shot and a COVID booster on the same day. In fact, it's encouraged. From a public health angle, what's different this time is the lack of panic, and that's good. But what we need now is measured awareness. Think of it like managing hypertension or diabetes. We're not scared of them anymore, but we still treat them seriously. Governments are advising local mask mandates based on hospital admissions, not just cases, and that's a sensible approach. Lockdowns are not on the table, but personal responsibility is. Before we close, here are your 3 key takeaways from today's episode. Number 1. This variant is spreading fast. It's more infectious but seems to cause mostly mild symptoms. Still, it poses a risk for the vulnerable. Number 2. Boosters and basic precautions still work. Stay updated with vaccination, test when symptomatic, and protect those around you. Number 3. We're not back in a crisis, but we can't afford to be careless. COVID is evolving, and so should our awareness. On our next episode, we'll break down diabetic ketoacidosis DKA, the sweet and sour storm. It's not just about sugar. Make sure to like and follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube to stay updated. And hey, if you enjoyed this, come say hi. You can find me on Instagram at @prasamsa_. Drop a message, let me know you're listening, and share what you think. I'd love to hear from you.